Most people don't actually have style. They just copy confidence. People don't struggle because they lack potential. They struggle because they never slow down enough to think. Welcome to the Ptone podcast. I'm your host, Tone. This is the podcast where we talk about fashion, we talk about faith, we talk about leadership and mindset. We're going to get into our first segment of today. It is the piece of the week. We're talking about all things fashion. And when it comes to fashion, I believe that confidence is one of the biggest things that we need to embrace. Most people aren't intentional about what they're wearing. They're just putting on things. You might get an inspiration from a mannequin. You might get an inspiration from an ad, and you'll buy that item. But because you haven't thought through the actual execution of the item, it just feels and looks unintentional. And so you have to be able to decide, okay, what look am I going for and how am I going to execute that in a way that's intentional? And it does, I'm gonna be honest, it does seem OD. It does seem like it's too much. It's like, man, I don't wanna think about that. I don't wanna have to plan out my outfits. I just want to be able to throw on some things and go. But the problem is most people that you see that look sloppy, it's because they did not put any intentionality into their wardrobe. And so I want you to get this concept that what the scripture says, man looks on the outward and God looks at the heart. Man looks at the outward, but God looks on the heart. This is a actual truth. Only God can see your heart as a first impression. It's only God. It's only God that can see through the clothes and through the outfits and through the accessories. Meaning, human nature is naturally designed to make judgments based on, watch this, how you look. God has given us eyes to see, and those are for a reason. And so we cannot negate the principle of first impressions. We cannot negate the principle of, I have to be somewhat intentional on what I'm wearing. Did you know that no decision is also a decision itself? So if you are walking into your closet or walking out of your closet with a lack of intentionality, that is a decision. And so I want us going into this week, I want us to be intentional with what we wear. Hey, this is what my tip for you is: wear the same thing you wore 2 days ago or 3 days ago. Wear the same thing you wore last week. Go on your Instagram and see the outfits that you liked. Look at the colors that make your skin glow. Look at the outfit that you were the most comfortable and confident in, and continue to reiterate those outfits. Some of the best dressing people that you know, they wear the same thing over and over again in different iterations. This is like Mexican food in America. You have burritos, you got tacos, you got quesadillas, you got nachos. Most of those items have the same ingredients involved. They just switch up the presentation. That's all you have to do. Switch up the presentation. Wear the same thing, whatever works. I'm not saying wear the same dirty shirt every day. I'm saying whatever works. Pick that concept and also execute. Pick that concept and run with it. Another fashion tip that I learned this week is the wrong shoe method, the wrong shoe hack. This is the concept. I haven't tried it yet, but we will try it. The concept is this: wear a shoe that does not match the outfit, and it'll take your outfit to the next level. For example, sweats, sweat outfit, dress shoes. You got a nice suit, and then you go tennis shoes. Sometimes if you execute correctly, those differences in the outfit can take it to the next level. But I promise you, the piece of the week, so here it is. The piece of the week is sponsored by Boohoo man. No, it's not. These are some crazy leather trousers. Baggy. Look how wide the legs are. Now, luckily, the inside is not leather, because that would be a bad day after you wore these. This is the piece of the week. I've had them for a while. I love them because they dress up any outfit. You can wear an old, beat up, raggedy shirt with these, and people are like, oh, wow. Are you going on the runway? Did you just get off the Migos tour? No, I just bought some leather pants. Piece of the week, I love them. They're versatile. The problem is they're leather pants. So I live in Vegas. Two, if you wore them last week, they're gonna be noticeable. So you have to rotate those like piece items, the things that are statement pieces, you have to rotate them very sporadically, once a month, once every 3 weeks, because people tend to remember those things. Going on to the next subject, we're talking about leadership. And this is what I want to pose to you. Bad leadership starts with insecurity. People think leadership is control. I have to control someone. I have to make sure that they are doing what I tell them. Leadership is actually clarity. Leadership is actually communication. This is why I decided to record a podcast on a weekly basis for the rest of my life, because I'm in the business of communication. Communication brings clarity. Opportunities happen from communicating, being around people, and people are on their phones. And so as a leader, if you can clarify, if you can communicate well, then it will help with your influence. Leadership is consistency, it's clarity, it's discipline, and it's the ability to be able to think under high pressure situations and remain calm. It's you being able to walk in a room and help other people feel that sense of ease and peace, and everything's gonna be okay. A lot of people, they want influence, but they haven't learned to have emotional control yet. And so it's your job as a leader to become as emotionally intelligent as possible. You have to be able to know your triggers. You have to be able to know your moments. You have to be able to know where you are physically, emotionally, and spiritually in your life. This week, leaders, your goal is for you to continue to bring as much clarity, as much insight to people's lives as possible. Walk in a room and just bring clarity and communication. That's your job as a leader. And I'm continuing to work on that. And I pray that God will help you to continue to be a leader that doesn't control, but brings clarity. As we see in the Gospels, God is not trying to control us. He is trying to bring clarity on the right path and the right decisions to make in order for us to be as successful as possible. This episode is sponsored by Coca-Cola. Cut that. Next up, this is our mindset moment, where every week we talk about what we need to be thinking going into this next week. What perspective should we grab? And I want to pose with this. Most people think they are exhausted from work. Most likely are exhausted from mental noise. Think about that for a second. It might not be the workload. It might not be how much you're doing. It might be that your mind is tired, that you have so much noise and so many distractions around you that you are not able to have peace. That's what the scripture says. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are fixed on you. Scripture says whatever is true, right, lovely, good report. Am I quoting that correctly? Think on these things. It's given us the ability to choose, watch this, what we think about. Like, you can be in an entire vacation in Hawaii in your mind if you wanted to. Or you can relive the things that people have done to you and made you bitter over and over again from your office desk. The choice is up to you. So the mindset moment today is you need to figure out how you can reflect. How can you take moments in your day to brain build? What's brain build? Brain building is a intelligent forming, emotional resilient. It is a practice that will continue to help you. Your theta and your gamma waves flow, and they create these bliss hormones in your life, in your brain, and make you feel better. Brain building is perfect when you're in a conflict, when you're in a toxic situation, right when you wake up, when you are overstimulated, when you want to get calm. Brain building is this: simply learning something that you are interested in. Caroline Leaf describes this and says she does 1 hour to 2 hours a day on brain building, of literally just learning something that she loves to learn about. I do this every morning. This has been one of the biggest things that has changed my life in the last year, is me continuing to brain build every morning when I wake up. The first thing I do, I'll begin to read and write something about something I'm interested in. Builds resilience. There's many nerve cells, neurogenesis. There is nerve cells that are formed every day in the morning. And if you don't utilize those, they'll turn into heat, air, basically heat energy, and they will deteriorate. And so brain building is important for us as believers and as leaders to continue to be able to be emotionally and mentally locked into everything that we need to do. So here's a story lock for today. The version of you feeding distraction will always fear discipline. The pattern is always in the proof. So we have to protect and guard our mind. We have to guard what we're thinking about. We have to lead with intention, and we have to stop ignoring the signals. Thank you for tuning in to the Ptone podcast. We are the target of podcasts, where we talk about all things culture, faith, life, family, and leadership. Can't wait to see you next week. Hit that like, comment, subscribe button, share this. Love y'all. See you soon.